Here's an Iberra rack. This is not specific to disc brake models, this is just their general model. I'll put a link to this in the description. I'm mounting this on a Diamondback overdrive, and I've got my own way of mounting it. First of all, on the seat, I've got this special part that I got from Niagara Cycle. I'll also put a link to that in the description. Since there's no mounting holes for the rack up on the frame here, it's just a seat clamp mounting point. These two arms here are from Iberra. So what I've done, instead of using their bottom mounting system, I've put a 3/8 inch threaded rod through here, and those are two 3/8 inch nuts. It fits exactly through there. There's no play, it's not loose, it's almost like they designed it. If they were smart, they might switch to some adjustment system like this instead of those 3 holes they have, which are not the best. Anyway, you figure out about how long you want that to be. You can always cut it down later if it's too long. You can see I've got one on each side. Now on the bike, these are the standard frame mounting points, and that is a 1/2 by 1/2 inch piece of solid steel, and I cut it to what I thought would be the right length. Once again, you can cut it too long, and always cut it down a little bit before you're done. You have to get these metric bolts that will thread into the threads on the bike. It's a metric 5 by 80 thread by 20 millimeters long. And here's the other side, and this is where it gets tricky. It kind of has to work around the disc brake mechanism. So now I'm going to weld it up. Basically, position the rack on the bike exactly how you want it. Just get everything kind of balanced, and then weld it on up. I've tack welded the threaded rod onto the 1/2 inch square piece of steel. I'll take it off, weld it up, paint it. The hardest part of this whole thing was getting everything aligned. The two sides of the rack actually kind of pinch against the 1/2 inch square piece of steel, which makes it a little easier. But it's kind of a matter of fooling around with it a lot, siding things, it's getting the rack level, the right height. So that took quite a bit of fooling around. Here's the two finished pieces. The bottom one goes on the side that has the derailleur, where the razor blade is just about touching it is the area where the derailleur cable will rub it. So I welded and ground a curve in there to have the cable glide up and down it without wearing on the cable too much. Also rounded it from side to side. So I'll paint these now. Here's the finished product. You can see where that derailleur cable is going to rub on there. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. It's just barely touching it. But anyway, I've got it smoothed out so it'll go up and down without getting hung up. Here's the other side. You can see the brake mechanism clears everything. On another bike I installed this on, I had to grind the rack away just a little bit to get the brake mechanism to clear. Here's the Iberra trunk bag mounted on there. I really like the system. It works well. It's not crazy expensive, so it's been working out good. I've been off-roading with another one quite a bit. Doesn't rattle around. Here's an Iberra rack mounted on a 29er. It's a Trek Marlin. You can see down here with this SRAM derailleur, there was no interference issues at all. Every installation comes out a little different. Here's my fishing pole rack, so to speak, that I made out of 1.25 PVC, which fits. These T's fit right in a couple round corners of the rack, and then up in here I got it notched, so it's kind of a friction fit. This just slides down in there. Anyway, I don't know if that's of any interest. Works pretty well. Here's a water bottle holder kind of rig I made with 3 of these Avenir water bottle holders and a Laraway stem extender. You can see, put the clamp bolts in front here, and then there's these Ideal number 20 1.75 inch hose clamps. And the Avenir water bottle holders seem to just go around certain parts of this stem extender to where they won't slide up or down. And here's my pepper spray mount. This is just some Velcro. I have these on all my bikes. So anyway, a few oaky hacks here.